Are you looking for some ways to earn a little bit of extra money in this new 2020 world that we have here? I have a few ideas that you can start a business with. Welcome to Allie on Life, where we're talking about business, life, and all the things that I'm learning along the way. I'm so glad you're here. Something you have to know about me is that I love ideas. I have ideas all the time, and I go a little bit crazy with them sometimes. So I have a ton of ideas for businesses that you can start in 2020, businesses that I can start in 2020. And I have narrowed it down to 10. But before we get to that, I want you to make sure that if you like this video, you click like. If you want to see more videos, you subscribe. And also you can check out my website, AllisonDuke.com. So today we are talking about business ideas, and then in the next video I'm going to talk about a few strategies for starting a business once you have your idea, and then in future videos we'll look at tools for tracking what you're doing and just some more steps that you can do to build your business. So to start, I want to tell you a little bit about how I got to this point in 2020. We all have our own stories for how 2020 is going so far, and I could probably guess that yours is not going the way that you maybe envisioned it at the beginning of the year. I can certainly tell you that it is not going that way for me. And at the beginning of the year, I was about a year or 2 years into my business journey. I started looking into online businesses in 2018, just the beginning of the year. I started off wanting to do a publishing company so that I could publish my own books. I'm a writer. I've always loved writing and mostly writing fiction, but I have a few other interests that I dabble in along the way as well. So I wanted to be a publisher. I didn't have a business degree. I didn't really know anything about running a business or being a publisher. So I had a few things that I needed to learn. And I discovered something called the Work at Home School, which is a whole bundle of courses about having an online business. And as I started looking into that, I realized there's this whole world of online business that I didn't even know existed. And I just became so excited, hunting down all of those ideas and seeing what would work best for me. I got so excited about the learning process, actually, that I kind of didn't really get into the doing process. I kind of dabbled a little bit here and there in a few different things, but I never really got into the stride of making a lot of money. I also was working a part-time job at the time at an elementary school. So at the beginning of the year in 2020, I had plans to leave that job at the end of the school year and really focus on building my business and getting to where I was replacing that income so that come fall, I would be making all the money that I needed to make in order to, continue to survive in this world. Well, I had no idea what you had to do to continue to survive in this world, and I'm not even sure that any of us knows at this point what we're really doing or how we're surviving, but here we are, and a lot of us are working from home now and using the internet to do that. Now, you might not have realized before now that it's possible to work at home on the internet, but I kind of figured that out. I just hadn't really started doing it yet. So that's where we're at right now. And now I have 10 ideas for some businesses to try in 2020. Number one is ebook writer. This was actually my first idea that I got from the Work at Home School. I took that course, I read the little ebook that was included about writing ebooks and thought, hey, this is a great idea. I love to write. And so I sat down for a few minutes every day for about 6 weeks and wrote a book about writing, because that's what I knew to write about. I did that, and then I thought maybe I would just use it as a lead magnet to get people's emails on my website. Then I thought, well, since I wrote this little book, I might go ahead and actually publish it, since publishing was sort of my original dream. It's kind of a practice book. I wrote it for practice, I published it for practice, and then I realized in the course of getting it out into the world that I didn't know how to market an ebook. And so you can buy it. It's online. It looks great. I got a really good designer to design it for me. I think it's pretty well written. It's well edited. It's a cute little book. But I never really sold very many copies because I skipped the marketing part. And you can't skip that and actually sell things. Number two is to be a freelance writer. You're going to see a theme with a lot of these. They're very writing oriented because I am a writer. So So a freelance writer is someone who writes maybe blogs or other content that other people hire you to write for them. There are a lot of different things that you can do with that. You can do ghostwriting, you can write case studies, white papers. There's a whole list of things that you can write as a freelance writer. Basically, if someone's willing to pay you to write something, you can get paid to write it. Number 3 is copywriter. Speaking of getting paid to write, copywriter is actually probably the most lucrative writing career that you can do because you are writing words that sell things. So if you're writing words that are selling a product, people are usually more willing to pay you money to sell that product. Now, writing copy is something that I get questions about this all the time. People always ask me, what is copy? So, okay, here we go. Copy, very basically put, is words that sell. So if you think of, in an ad or a commercial or, something that you see online or in a newspaper, or if you read newspapers anymore, anywhere there are words that sell, that's copy, versus the content, as like the blogs or books or words that are entertaining or informative, that's more content. So if you're selling stuff, that's more copy. If you're just giving information or entertainment, that's more content. Copywriting can be a little bit complicated. There's a whole lot of sales philosophy and psychology that goes into it. It's a really interesting study. It can take a little while to learn, but there are plenty of places where you can get some resources on that and just dive right in. Number 4 is probably the nearest and dearest to my heart, and that is a novel writer. I love fiction. It is my favorite thing. I love stories. I love characters. I love everything about it. Now, you might kind of wonder, is novel writing really a business? And my answer is yes and no. It kind of depends on how you look at it. So there are lots of places that will actually hire writers to write novels. I've seen these on job board listings and things like that, especially like romance novels. You can just get hired to write a whole bunch of them, and they're there and people can buy them. It's something you can do. Also, once you've written a novel and you're working on getting it published, there's a whole business side of that I think a lot of authors don't really think about. But it's really important because, like, for example, my book that I wrote, it wasn't fiction, it was nonfiction, but the same concept. You still have to market it and sell it. People aren't going to read a book that they don't know exists. So there is a business side to novel writing as well. Number 5 is editor. I love to edit. Actually, sometimes I think I like to edit as much as I love to write. I like taking other people's words and just making them better, just making them sound better. I love grammar and punctuation and all those nerdy little things about language, just the crafting of words. The editing process is really important in that. I mean, writing is coming up with either the information that you need to pass on to people or the story that you're trying to tell. Or maybe lots of times there's a combination of both. But in the editing, that's when you really make the words sparkle, and I just love that part of it. Number 6 is blogger. Yet another writing business. Look at that. So a blog, everybody knows what a blog is, right? You get a spot there on the internet where you get to share your thoughts with the world, or you can, have a particular niche where you talk about a particular topic until, for the rest of your life, I suppose. Blogging is a fascinating topic, and people have been making money blogging for years. And to me, it's a mystery. I'm not exactly sure how they do it, although I know that obviously when you go to any blog, you see that there are ads there. People are paying to get that ad space, and there's also affiliate marketing you can do with blogs. There's a few other ways that you can make money blogging, and I would love to find out what all of those are and let you know about them. So keep watching for that. Number 6 is content creator, which is similar to blogging. In fact, blogging actually is part of content creation. Vlogging, what we're doing here, podcasting, making short form videos, any kind of content that people consume either for information or entertainment or infotainment. There's a whole business side of things that's dedicated to that. So content creator, you're just creating content for people to enjoy or to learn from. Number 8 is designer. Graphic design, web design, those kinds of things. If you're a little bit artsy and you have some savvy with some design programs, maybe Canva, Adobe Spark, PicMonkey, all the Adobe programs, you can do a lot with design. You don't necessarily have to have a design degree in order to do that, although the people with design degrees are really good at it and they really want you to pay them to do the thing that they got a degree to do, and I don't blame them for that at all. But if you don't have one and you are interested in design, you can do business in that arena as well. 9 is digital marketer. This goes along a little bit with the copywriting, with the design. You might notice that a lot of these businesses kind of tie together, and there's a reason for that I'll tell you in a minute. But as far as digital marketer goes, it's marketing. It's selling. It's taking other people's products and selling them for them. It's coming up with the words and the images and the sales pages and the funnels and all the things that go along with the marketing side of things. A lot of people don't really like marketing. They just want to make their products, or they want to do their coaching, or they want to get their stuff out into the world, and they don't want to bother with the selling part. And that's where you can come in as a marketer who gets paid to do all that for them. I actually think that there are lots of parts of marketing that are really, really fun. I've been trained in sales for a long time, and so marketing is just sort of a natural fit for me. And number 10 is coaching. Coaching is really, really big right now for lots of reasons. I mean, there's life coaching because people want to make their lives better because, I mean, who doesn't right now, right? Things are a little bit bleak, so we're looking for ways to improve. There's also coaching in all of the areas that I already mentioned, because if you can do a thing, you can coach somebody else to do that thing, or at least that's the line of reasoning. I really love coaching, actually. Sometimes I'm better at telling people what to do than I am at following instructions myself. So coaching is really fun for me, not just because I like to be bossy. I mean, there is that, but also I love to watch people go from a certain point in their lives or their businesses, and then I can give them some tips and things that I've learned along the way and kind of see them move into the next phase. And I just think that's really, really fun. So if that's something that you enjoy, coaching can be an option for you too. So those are my 10 ideas for businesses in 2020. And I realize there's not a whole lot of time left in the year, but it's taken me a while to get to a point where I'm in the headspace to actually work toward my business. And so it doesn't really matter how much time is left in the year. I'm going to try all 10. I might not try all 10 all at once, okay? And if you notice, they're kind of split into some pretty obvious categories of like writing and other things. And so I'm going to work on it that way. And you can tell me, Allie, you cannot do 10 businesses all at once. That's insane. You will have a stroke and die. I don't think I'm going to have a stroke and die. I might not be entirely successful, but that's okay, because I have tried to focus on one thing, and I have tried to focus on many things, and I have found that it's better for me to do a few things at once rather than try to do everything at once, or even to try to do one thing at once. So I'm going to focus on at least 3 or 4 at a time and let you know how that goes. What I want to know from you is which business ideas appeal to you the most. So let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, hit the little notification bell if you want to be pinged whenever I put out new videos, which should be about once a week. And also check out my website. You can subscribe to my email list there. And be watching for my next video, which are the strategies on starting your new business. Thank you so much for watching. I am so glad that you are here with me on this journey. Let's do this.